What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given, back with more Demon Bluff deck building mode. We got a high score of 1010 in the last episode when I was checking this out for the first time, and honestly, I'm not totally convinced I'm gonna be able to beat that, but I am going to try here. Let's start with a bard, and then maybe I think I'm just going to go for straight up power as much as I can. I should potentially think about like what things will be really powerful to find early on. Like if I find a knitter that's lying in the first village, I can just kill it. So that could be something useful. And what else do we have here? Scout would be a similar thing. Sure. I also kind of like not picking activate cards because activate cards I can always mess up on. But I can't mess up if the card doesn't activate. Slayer I will still pick though. I think that's a pretty powerful activator. And in this first village with a minion, all we have to do is find a liar. And we can potentially even Slayer shoot them. What if we just Slayer shoot right now? And then like skip looking at number 3. All right, awesome. Don't know if that gave me 9 gold. I think it might have. I think I'm not going to go for the knight. I mean, the lover is also not great once you add in the puka and the poisoner super late into the game. But let's go for the lover still, regardless. Now I could remove a card. I think I'm just going to skip and focus on health. One thing that I never tested in the previous video is, do you actually regain health at the end of a village? You might. I never lost a single point of health in the previous one. So both of these are good. Might as well skip them then, because right now I'm looking for a poisoner, right? Yeah. So the poisoner could be sat here and here, but if the bard is 3 away from a corrupted character, then this cannot be poisoned. It could be the poisoner poisoning 7. No, but the poisoner would have to say there's an evil adjacent. So 1, 2. Yeah, it's these 2. And if it was this one, okay, so this could be the poisoner poisoning the lover. No. That's not possible. This could be the poisoner. Wait. No, that wouldn't be possible with the bard. Sorry, I keep getting tripped up on this. This could be the poisoner poisoning this one. Isn't that like the only possibility? Or the bard is evil, right? But in order for there to be poison 3 away from the bard, it has to be... I'm going to test if we're going to heal health back up, because I want to try to kill things as early as possible, and I think it basically like has to be 6. Because one of these 2 have to be corrupted. This could then be the poisoner. Ooh, so 5 and 6 could be where the poisoner sat. So let's see if 5 is lying. You couldn't kill 6, but you should never be corrupted, according to the bard. Let's see if 6 outs themselves. 2 away from a corrupted character. Okay. Both of the bards are pointing at each other. We know that between one of these 2 has to sit the poisoner. So either this poisoner is poisoning right here, because that would be 2 away from this bard, or this poisoner is poisoning right here. We know that this is not the poisoner poisoning right here because the Slayer could not kill the bard, so this is actually the poisoner. All right, that was a fun little puzzle, and we got a little bit fooled by the evil team momentarily there. They made us waste our Slayer shot, but then we were able to put it all together. I like the Empress a lot. But the Confessor is also pretty dang useful. I'm going to go for the Empress. I like the Confessor. I think we'll pick it up in the future. Do we have enough coin to buy this health? We do not. So I'm going to skip again in the hopes that we will be able to save our coin. This is bugged if you didn't watch the last video. We definitely have more than 14 gold. How much more? Not sure. And do we have a puppeteer this time? We do. So, wait, 3 pairs of evil. Is there a wretch too? Oh my gosh. So somewhere on this board, we have a wretch, a counselor, and then a puppeteer and a puppet next to that. And this could be the puppet, or this is evil coming up with the craziest lie in the world. But I kind of buy it. There's the wretch. So according to this knitter, this is always the counselor. Let's check. That is the counselor. Okay. This could still be the puppet, and this could be the puppeteer. That would be 1, 2, 3 pairs of evil. Definitely possible. 2 evils are adjacent to each other. And that's wrong. Because, oh, if this is wrong, this has to be right. Because there would be 2 evils adjacent to each other, the counselor and the wretch, and then the puppet and puppeteer. Wait, no. 2 evils are adjacent to each other. That would mean just this. But we know it's not just this. So the puppeteer and puppet also have to be within these spaces. There's an interesting way to look at this board. 6 is always good. This could be the puppet. I think we're going to have to flip over a decent amount here, unfortunately. Puppet is 2 away from the closest evil. So that's wrong. So I think it's just puppeteer and puppet then. Yeah, okay, we've solved it. And the knitter did indeed have good info. 3 pairs of evil. Let's grab the hunter. I think we've got a lot of coin at this point. We can't buy any health in this shop. So I'm going to save my coin. I think that even just buying 1 heart is the most important thing. Between 1 and 7, there is a villager and a minion. This time we've got poisoner, shaman, and then we also have a wretch. Okay, so the wretch is going to be good. Why did the bishop not tell us about the wretch? Oh, because the wretch appears as a minion. Wait, and the bishop pointing at themselves means 7 is always a minion? Dang it! Dang it! All right, we found our wretch. That's why the bishop... Oh, this always had to be the wretch because the bishop could never... If the bishop wasn't pointing at an outcast, it's because the wretch was throwing the bishop off. All right. 2 evils are adjacent to each other, could still be good info. This might be my first failure. We know that the bishop is good because they pointed at the wretch. 4 away from an evil. That's wrong. Do we kill people that are wrong? They could be a poison-corrupted shaman pair. I'm going to need to flip everything. Evils are not adjacent to each other. Oh boy, this is a toughie. And another hunter. All right, well, one of the hunters is lying. This hunter is telling the truth. This hunter is pointing at this one, which is lying. There can't be that many hunters. Ah, man. Okay, that was 10 minutes. Let's hop in another one and see if we can... Now, that's interesting. We actually had a pretty reasonable score by just firing willy-nilly. Oh, that's interesting. What does that mean? Huh. Am I going to pick up this run where I left off? By the way, I added the kill count mod back on because that's a fun mod and it's not going to include... Oh, and it's actually really useful that it pops up on this screen. Because now I can just see, okay, the fortune teller is something that I accidentally kill a lot. So maybe I do just want to go for the jester. That's a really interesting additional piece of information. I almost never kill... I've never killed a poet. Let's change that. And the bard, I've killed the bard once. I'm supposed to be clicking the things with the lower kill counts. Sure. That's a fun way to play it, I think. And Confessor, probably should have gone Bishop there. But I'm trying to do a little bit of a speed run so that we can make this a appropriately lengthed video. This one's going to have a Puppeteer. Left side is more evil. This could never be the puppet. There are no corrupted characters. So it could be these two. Sure. Well, that's a lie. There are no corrupted characters is the truth. We know that one of these two has to be evil, so we always solve this with the Jester, actually. There are two evils, so it is the Bard and the Bard. And now we will pick up the Bishop, and we'll skip this. All right, making it to Village 2. Let's try to see if we can get to Village 3. We find a Villager and a Minion sat in 2 and 6. Ooh, and a Shaman pair. Huh. So between 2, 6, and 1, we have our evil. Okay. 2 evils are adjacent to each other. That's wrong. I'm probably going to kill you. But do you think that there's an evil? You do. All right, goodbye, Knitter. That is why I thought the Knitter would be good in this mode, because they kind of just out themselves. We do have enough for that extra health. Ooh, that's good. We've been killing quickly. No Wretch, right? Oh, a Counselor. Okay. A Counselor has added a Wretch, but why have these bishops not seen the Wretch? Why have these bishops not seen the Wretch? And we've got a Poisoner and a Counselor. So one of these bishops has to be lying. One says 2 and 5. One says 2 and 6, which means 2 is always good. They could be poisoned, but they are always good. I think that means this is always the Poisoner, because there's either corruption here or here. So this could be the Poisoner, but it can't be the Poisoner poisoning the bishop. So this is always the Poisoner. Okay. So this information is corrupted or this information is corrupted. Kind of impossible to discern. Now, interestingly, you are telling me 2 and 5. I don't know if I buy that. I think the 2 baddies were trying to pretend that there was a shaman. No, there is no shaman. There's a counselor. I know that this guy's good, so no point in flipping it. I never got to see if we heal our health or not at the end of the village. I think now's a good time to test that. That is the counselor. They were sat next to a wretch. That was good enough for me to send it. Fortune teller 2 kill count. Let's go Oracle then, I suppose. No way I can buy another health here. I could probably remove a card. I just killed 2 things, so I have at least 10 gold right now. Let's try this. Let's just see how this works. I could probably cancel it out if I really wanted to. Do I hate any of these things? Do I not like the Bard, the Jester, the Architect? Let's see. Will it let me not do that? Yeah, I think it'll let me cancel that. Nice. All right, let's skip. And let's skip along to village number 4. This time we have Twin Minion, Witch, and a Wretch. Both sides equally evil. If both sides are equally evil, number 9 has to be evil. Because there's a Wretch. So there's 3 evils total. The only way to grab an equal number of evil is if 9 is evil. Let's see. That's the Witch. Cool. And so for that, we got, oh my gosh, 12 gold for that kill. That is beautiful. You are now probably telling the truth. let's see what else we can find. And what is the other minion again? Twin minion. So we are smooth sailing from here. 4 or 5 is a twin minion. Sure, I believe it. Let's see if anybody is just like a guaranteed liar. Number 3 is a real confessor. Huh. Huh. That's like not going to be possible to lie about. So let's do this with the Jester. Let's have the Jester select themselves. You're going to tell me there's 3 evils? That's way too many. If they had said 2, then they would have been telling the truth, which is why I had to select them in their own information, because the Oracle could have been evil there. All right, a little bit of a stumble, but we are back to where we died on the previous run, where we lost that. So feeling good now. 2 kill counts on the Scout, 0 on the Knight. I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for the Scout still. I think the Scout has good info. Can I grab more health? I can, because I've been killing so quickly and so well. And let's see if we can bring it home. Shaman is 2 away from the closest evil. This village has a Shaman, a Poisoner, and a Wretch. All right, Shaman and Poisoner. Well, these things are both possible together because the Poisoner and the Wretch could be adjacent to each other, and then the Shaman could be 2 away. We are going to need a Shaman pair, and this is not the best Shaman pair that I've ever seen. I'd like a Shaman pair that are giving me the same info. I am 2 cards away from evil. Kind of pointing at this Knitter. You could be Poisoner, though, as well. Think we're going to have to slow our roll a little bit, unfortunately. And find that double claim. I don't know. This is a double claim or this is a double claim. But either way, they are not cooperating, these double claims. There's the Wretch. Both sides are equally evil. Again, looking pretty possible. If this Confessor is poisoned, we have really, really good information. If this Confessor is poisoned, that means that one of these Knitters are bad. This Confessor is good. So that would be our Shaman pair. I could Jester, Confessor, Jester, Wretch. Or just Jester, the Confessors, and the Jester. But I don't like that the Jester is potentially in the Poet info as well. So, where do we want to start? Here's what I like. This is evil. And it's the Poisoner. This is the Shaman. No, this is the Poisoner. This is the Poisoner. This is corrupted. This is the Shaman. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. That's what I like right now. So I think I want to Jester. If we use the Jester on some amount of double claims, we can probably get to a situation... no, because we can't choose 4 people. Oh, but we don't have to choose this Confessor. We know that this Confessor is good. Between this Confessor and both of the Knitters, do we know that there's exactly 1 evil? Yes. Oh, it could be 2. Oh, it could just straight up be 2, couldn't it? Both of these could be a lie. If both of these are a lie, though, this information would be correct. That's good to know. If this is evil, this cannot be evil. Ooh, okay. Let's start here. I think we're going to get like a 2 or a 0. We know it's not 0. This jester, let's back up a second though, because this jester could be poisoned from this confessor. So let's see how that would look. This confessor's still good. This would then become the shaman pair. And then one of them would have to be corrupted, but we already know that there's a pair of corruptions right here. This has got to be the poisoner. This confessor is poisoned, and I do believe that this is our shaman, making all of the other information here correct. Cool, and now we are moving on to village number 5. I liked the hunter in the last episode. Let's pick the hunter again. I have made a mistake, right? So far? And I've healed that health back up? Maybe I haven't. I really don't remember if I've made a mistake or not. On village 5 out of 6, no way we can buy some extra health. We could buy a judge. We could try removing a card finally. I don't know if there's anything yet that I really feel needs to be removed. The poet's a little bit wacky. The architect. Oh, I don't really like the medium. Yeah, let's try removing the medium there. All right, cool. First time using that at the very least. And now we will move on to, oh, this is village 6 out of 6. Oh, perfect, perfect. So we spent our coin, can't take it with us, between 10, 9, and 3. Let's take a look at the board here as well. We have a ba, not a puka. Oh, was it always showing a ba? Maybe the ba was always going to show as the demon there. This is a little bit wacky. What we've got going on here. Double drunks. I am going to assume that it's possible that we have 2 drunks right now. We also have a counselor and a minion. It could just be that the ba is adding a second drunk to here. I'm not super sure, but I can tell you that we have 3 evils we have to take out, and there will be 2 outcasts. So let's see if there's an outcast between 3. Okay, 2 pairs of evil would be kind of a lot. That would actually be a very specific scenario. Now, it could mean that we find the wretch. No. Because we don't find the wretch, in order for there to be 2 pair of evils, it has to be either the bishop sits next to the wretch or another evil, or we literally just have 9, 8, and 7 as the evils. I'm going to keep wretch hunting, but I don't find a wretch. Okay. The drunk will also have to not be in a double claim, though the drunk could be in a double claim with the demon specifically. 1 or 4 is a minion. Okay. I kind of like that. 2, 7, and 3. We're getting a little bit of information overload here. The bard's saying 4 away from a corrupted character. That means they're pointing at this or this being corrupted, but you know what? I mean, both of these do have wacky, wacky info. Huh. Okay. 2, 3, and 7. Huh. 2, 3, and 7. Now, the only overlap between both of these bishops is 3. So 3 could, well, hold on now. I think it's actually the opposite of what I was about to say. If 3 is the drunk, both of these bishops would be correct. Both of these bishops cannot be correct. So 3 can never be the drunk. You following me with that? 3 can never be drunk Because a bishop that's lying, I believe, it says my info includes only all good characters. It's possible that the bishop was changed between this build of the game and the current build of the game. But currently, the bishop, if lying, will only point at villagers. So if both bishops are pointing at the knitter, it can't be both of their drunks because one of these two bishops has to be lying. So if one of them's lying, the knitter is always good. Can't be poisoned. I think the knitter is always good, and that is where I'm going to start with all of the information that I try to build. There are 2 pair of evil, which means 3 in a row, or we find a wretch. There's a wretch. So now it could be something like these 2 and these 2, with the bard pointing at the drunk, and this is the ba. That would mean that the wretch is evil alongside the jester? You're telling me left side is more evil, but hold on, the left side definitely looks more evil right now. Huh. Oh, maybe you are the drunk. 10-9, so you're good, maybe? And maybe this is evil. But you are drunk, which would make the bard correct. So there just has to be like another drunk closer to the bard? 2, 9, 7. No, the bard is probably good. Let's keep flipping. All right, one of these bards is bad. This one. This bard is bad. This bard has bad information. We do have corrupted characters. Ooh, here's an idea. Evil. Evil. Registering as evil. 2 pair of evil. Good. Drunk. Yeah. Counselor. Left side is more evil. That's correct. Jester in a double claim. 1 or 4 is a minion. This just works. Could we go for a Jester 3? Let's try it. All 3 evils. I think we've solved it. What do you have to say? 2? Yeah. I think this is it. This is the drunk. This is the wretch created by the counselor. This is our 2 pair of evil. Let me double check this information. 2, 3, and 7 checks out. Let me check this information. Oh, yes. So in order for all of this to work, this has to be the ba, and then everyone else is in a double claim. So it works out super well. Is this the ba? Yes. This is the drunk. This is the bard, or a minion. This is the counselor. And we have solved it with an even better high score than the previous episode, and still the same runtime as the previous video. So that was a pretty good success, I have to say. That is going to be it for me for this one. I'm going to try the exact same thing in the next video, and then I'm going to try the old itch.io client for a few videos after that. So subscribe for more Demon Bluff deck building mode, but for today, that's going to be it for me. And you know what? One thing that I will say before I sign off, I wanted to thank Uzabi for putting this together. I did do that in the previous video, but also just a huge thanks for making an awesome game that all of you have been enjoying watching me play. And of course, a huge thanks to all of you that subscribed and commented and watched and got me to 3,000 subscribers. Super cool milestone. start brainstorming some ideas for the 4,000 subscriber special. I have some ideas. We'll see how quick we get there. But for now, I'm having a ton of fun playing Demon Bluff. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.